Hot Picks from the Library, back with Phil. Phil, what have you got for us this week?
So this week I thought I might change it up a bit and we'll do something a bit more humorous, fun, light-hearted. The library has some books of personal stories that are written in a way that's quite funny and amusing. The first one is called Cornflakes for Dinner, and it's by an Irish comedian. And it's written in the style of an Irish comedian. So the language is full on. He's been made redundant. They've got 2 children who have been diagnosed with autism. And this is really the story of how he came to grips with the diagnosis, his redundancy and his move into comedy, really the story of growing up with his 2 children. Wow,
that one sounds like I want to read that.
The next one we've got in 2 forms. So it was a DVD, it was produced as a film, and we've also got the autobiography on which the film is based. So the story is called Marvelous, the story of Neil Baldwin, and in the film version he was played by Toby Jones. Neil has some undiagnosed, unreferred to a learning disability / intellectual disability. We don't know. It's not made clear in the autobiography. It's hilarious. The film is hilarious. Neil has this amazingly positive attitude to life, and he just does things. And early in the autobiography, he says that he just wanted to have fun in his life, and that's what he does. It's also a story of community. So it's how somebody with an intellectual disability or a learning disability, how the community can support them to live really full lives. But it's not a story about the community doing stuff to Neil. It's about how he creates his life. So changing things up a wee bit, Becoming a Person, the biography of Robert Martin. So this is not a humorous story. But it is a personal story, and Robert Martin's an amazing person. So he was institutionalized in New Zealand in the 60s. His biography is what his life was like in the institution, but it's also a positive story because when deinstitutionalization happened, he moved out into the community and he became an advocate for people with an intellectual disability. So much so that he represented New Zealand at the United Nations, and he is, I believe, the only person with an intellectual disability who has chaired a meeting of the UN. So it's an amazing story, and it's a story that every New Zealander should really know about.
Wow, yeah, should.
So yeah, it's a fantastic biography. Not as humorous as the other 2, but definitely worth a read.
A really, really important New Zealand life, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, Phil, thank you so much again for taking time out of your really busy day at the library. I'm definitely going to check out some of those, and it's really great to hear, particularly about some of the comedy and the comedic stories, because I think that sometimes we can forget about some of the actually really funny moments that we have in our lives as well. So thanks for highlighting some of those for us today.
No problem, Fiona. Thank you. It's great.